Hi guys, my name's Chris. Today I'm going to make what I call a 2-foot hidden shelf. Went to my local Home Depot and I'm using crown molding as my base, and I'm using some trim to go on top. That way there you can completely see that the top and the base, you would never see any gaps at all. This is all made out of pine. So I hope you enjoy this video. Leave me comments at the end. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. I apologize for the lighting. I'm using my iPhone and a GoPro camera, and I work out of my basement, as you can tell. So hope you enjoy the video. So I went ahead and cut the crown molding. I always start with the bottom part of the shelf because this is the main focus. So the front panel, I have cut the inside at 2 feet, and then I cut my 45s from there. And then I cut the 2 side panels, which my overlay on those are 7 1/4. To connect all 3 panels, I just use wood glue and 1 finish nail at the top of each sides. Install the bottom panel. So my length is 2 feet, but for my size I've shortened the board for about 3/4 of an inch. I leave this gap so when I attach the top to the bottom of the shelf, that there's enough clearance for the bottom to drop down from the wall. Where I use the finish nail, I make sure that all my joinery is exactly the way I want it, so now's the time to cut the board to fit the shape that I want. And again, I'm just using wood glue and finish nails to attach these panels together. So now that the base is done, I want to start working on the top shelf. So I want to make sure that I have a measurement from the back to the front, and I want to add an extra 1/4 inch for an overhang. And I'm going to do the same thing for the sides. I want a 1/4 inch on each end. That way there, when I add the trim, it will overhang the base of it. So I want to true up the top panel and the panel that's going to mount against the wall as best as I can. So I run these boards through the planer, and I'm also going to run them through the joiner. I want to get the perfect 90 degrees off the wall as best as I can. Now that I have my boards nice and flat, I am marking where I want to put my pocket holes. This is how I attach the panel that attaches to the wall to the bottom side of the shelf. So I'm going to evenly space the back panel to the top of the shelf. I'm going to use glue and pocket hole screws to attach the 2 pieces together. So before I attach the base to the top, I want to router the ends of the base so that way they do not dig into the drywall. I'm going to install these spring-loaded hinges, which will help you open and close the shelf, which I did purchase these at Home Depot. I'm also going to install these heavy-duty magnets, and the reason for that is because I am going to be placing a firearm into my shelf, and I want to make sure that the base does not drop out. And to get the magnets to line up, I'm just putting the plate on top of the magnet, pressing the lid down, and it's going to make little dimple marks to the top of the shelf, so that way I know where to actually place that plate. And right now I'm installing a child safety lock. It is magnetic, so because I will be putting a firearm in here, I do not want my child to ever open this shelf up. So this shelf will be locked at all times, and the only way you can open it is with a magnet key. So now I'm going to add the trim to the top of the shelf. Now this trim is going to overhang the top shelf. This here will give you the illusion that this shelf is one unit and not two separate units. And all I'm going to do is use wood glue and finish nails to attach the two pieces together. Now I'm using the clamps to attach the first piece because if you do not, I have found that that trim piece can slide and move on you. So clamping it down definitely makes a difference. So the last thing I need to do is use wood filler to fill any of my finished nail holes into the top of the shelf and to the bottom. I found this foam at my local woodcraft store. Right now I'm cutting the shape I need to fit inside my shelf. This foam has 6 layers. I like this because I can cut out a couple layers and still have enough cushion for the item that I am placing inside my shelf. Last thing I'm doing here is I'm marking where the hinges are, and I just have to notch out the hinges inside the foam. This way here, when I close the shelf, it does not interfere with the foam. So the last thing I have to do here is install a cable, and the purpose for this cable is I do not want my shelf to open up all the way. I want it to open up at a 45-degree angle. Thank you for watching my video. Please leave me any questions or comments you may have below. If you like my video, please look me up on Facebook at Hutch's Custom Woodworking for other projects that I have done.